Hey guys, it's Melanie Hinds, your fastest IRAQI Dinar summary on the net. It's Friday around 2:15. I just wanted to get this to you. So in the articles out of Iraq today, there was an article, Asian Arab countries dominate Iraq's 2024 non-oil exports. Now, this is 2024. We know they're increasing in 2025, but it was interesting. They said they captured 88% of Iraq's non-oil commodity exports in 2024. They said that yesterday. The data released by the ministry's Central Statistical Organization revealed Iraq's non-oil exports reached 5.8 trillion dinars or $4.5 billion during 2024. It also noted that what things they exported, but then the next article talks about Basra inked a deal, a contract, as of yesterday, after 5 p.m. in Baghdad time. It says Iraq's Ministry of Electricity signed a contract to construct the Al-Fa gas-fired power plant in Basra. It was a deal with the U.S. firm General Electric and described by the ministry as the largest private power investment project in southern Iraq's energy sector. It will operate under a take-and-pay model. So that was a big news. Also, gold surged past $4,300 an ounce to eye the strongest weekly gain since 2008. A lot of people are getting into gold, and I'm going to be on the Zoom on Monday at 11, and I hope you'll join us. You have to be a mastermind group member for the Zoom on Monday. Dollar slides on rate cut bets and trade jitters, and the yen jumps. This says the dollar remained on the back foot on Friday as global trade frictions and signs of weakness in the U.S. economy supported the case for more rate cuts by the Federal Reserve. The dollar index is set for its biggest weekly drop in almost 3 months as an extended shutdown of the U.S. government interrupted the publication of key economic data. All my opinions I will express on the Zoom on Monday. The yen rallied back after Bank of Japan Governor Kazuo Ueda spoke about factors that could lead to a rate increase this month. Compounding concerns about trade, Fed independence, and the U.S. shutdown are making the greenback vulnerable to the debasement trade where investors seek assets that can easily be devalued, said Pepperstone Research strategist. It really is hard to find a bullish scenario for the dollar index. Guys, we all know the dollar has problems. It's fiat based, but we are switching to a system where everything is going to be, I think, stable coins and all of that. So what do you think? It said instead of betting on any currency by a single sovereign credit, people are rushing into gold, cryptocurrency, and other assets as a risk hedge. Yes, everybody's saying cryptocurrency in their articles. In fact, if you go at the bottom of this article, I pointed this out in my live stream. The last sentence says, in cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin gained 1.1% to 109,000. While Ethereum, the other blockchain network coin, rose 1.8% to 3,923. I thought this was very interesting in a dollar slide article that they mentioned the last sentence to be in cryptos, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are the networks, the blockchain networks. If you're a member of my channel, you can watch that basic blockchain video that I did. It says the Fed's Beige Book offered little support to U.S. rates, pointing to emerging signs of economic weakness, including rising layoffs and reduced spending around middle and lower income households. Yep, that's kind of the way it's been going. Now, if we go to the summary of everybody else, there's various opinions. Frank 26, according to his intel, Omar, it says, in the country, we will drop the zeros and the lower notes will be introduced, and the 3 zero notes will coexist at the same time and at the same rate. We've heard about that for a while. It says all of it will be dropped off the exchange rate, and then, meaning the zeros will be dropped off the exchange rate, not the individual currencies, but they will have to release lower denominated notes. All of it will be dropped off the exchange rate, and then as it's pegged to a basket, we will see R2 rate. Frank said yes, because once it's in the basket, that's an RI, a reinstitution of it. Then it will be an RV in the basket to reach the real effective exchange rate. Then it ain't 1-to-1 because you can't touch the dollar, so you're coming out at 322. And Frank says, I suggest cap it at 425. We've heard rates as high as 586 ever since gold went on this run. But remember, the people in the U.S. want you to invest in gold because they're promoting it, but they're also promoting the cryptos. Bruce says, I can tell you this much. Redemption center screens are blank. No rates are coming up on screens. We did have a rate on the dong a couple days ago at a redemption center, and it was quite good. I told you guys the dinar is going to be offered to us at a contract rate, and that's still holding, guys. We don't know what's going to go on at the centers. I'm not a big fan of them. I did put out that there was an article yesterday floating that some in Florida, Texas, and Ohio were going to be opened, but there was no details in that article. I have it posted, the link to the article, in my live stream this morning, 24-minute timestamp. Look in the comments, find the timestamps. Go to the 24-minute mark. There's a link to that article so you can read it. Please don't email me and ask me for that anymore. I just don't have time. Mark Z says, article, IMF expects Iraq's economy to grow by 3.6% next year. The long-term health of the country supports changing the value of the currency. I couldn't agree with Mark more. And then I think Frank said last night, Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Khalif, confirmed there is no intention to float the Iraqi dinar. Everybody's talking about that. Of course they're going to say that, guys. Kuwait ran a full-page article that it wasn't going to revalue their currency, and within 24 hours it was revalued. Frank said there is no float and that you're not coming out at $1 because you don't want it to be paired with the dollar. You're not going to come out $1.15 or whatever just over the dollar. If you're not floating it, that means you do have a need to have a vehicle to take you to 322. You're just going to come out at 322 as an RI and then RV without the float. If you listen to Mr. T, who's a Forex trader, who was a former full bird colonel, who was on my Zoom January 25th, all my Zoom episodes are up. I've been doing Zoom since May 23rd, or May 30th, actually May 15th, but it's not recorded because I didn't know how to record it until Dale came along. So May 30th of 2025, you can access those as the Miracle Manifestation member or above. But he was saying it has to come up at a minimum of 322 because that's where it left the Forex. But then other articles, like we saw that Forex article that I've showed you many times that said it's pegged at 481.01. On the structures, it's suppressed right now. They're waiting for the coordinated political timing. Now people are saying it could be 586 or 596 because of gold and because of the values, other values they have in the country. They have 170 tons of gold, and gold just is going on a run. So I don't know. What do you think? I don't think it's going to be a 20-year-old price of 322, but they are saying they aren't going to float it. So you don't know, guys. They're not going to come out and tell you what they're going to do anyway until after it's done. And then it'll be done. Once it hits Forex, it's by nature going to float though. Even if they came in at 322, by nature, the Forex market floats, just like the stock market, just like the cryptos. Have you ever looked at your crypto wallets? If you're a member of my channel, you're in crypto and you still made money even despite the crash. The crash was getting out all the leveraged holders, which you shouldn't have leveraged holders. I've always said, don't go into debt to get into that. Only put in, though, what you can afford to lose. But this is not financial advice. This is entertainment purposes only. So then you got Claire. Article, after shaking hands with al-Sudani, whoever fulfills Trump conditions will be the next prime minister. That's an interesting take. That's why I wanted to bring this here, because they are in election season in Iraq. It says U.S. President Donald Trump is sending signals to Iraq, waiting for whoever picks them up to be the next prime minister. According to politicians, Washington's calculations differ from the complex internal sectarian and partisan equations, specifically related to disengagement from Tehran. The United States is looking for a government in Iraq that represents Baghdad, not Tehran. What do you think? It's very tricky right now. Could be a good time. Then you got Militiaman. Article, quote, Khalif, there is an intention to remove zeros from the Iraqi dinar, meaning the exchange rate, to ease the burden of the banknote hoarding. This gentleman has been on fire. Because why? If they remove the zeros and they'll take their paper in and get the new money and it'll be in their bank account and they'll be happy. This gentleman has been on fire. He is again. There is no intention to float it. They're not going to float the dinar, he says. They're going to do something different. In his opinion, if they change the value of their currency and reduce the zeros, they're probably going to have an influx of getting that money into the bank. They can do whatever they want in country. If it goes on Forex, it's by nature a float. So maybe they do it all in country right now. We went through those scenarios as a result of our military contacts. Sampson, article, the Central Bank of Iraq has settled the matter. No floating of the dinar and a plan to remove the zero soon. No float, plan to remove the zeros. If it happens in country, they're going to get, the Iraqi citizens are going to get it first, which is what we've always said. It's about them. It's not about us. They need purchasing power. That would give them that. Pimpy says, you see an article where they said plan on removing the zeros. They plan on removing the zeros of the Iraqi dinar, but they don't have any plans at the moment to free float the exchange rate. Pimpy's coming to the same conclusion. Then it will not be on the Forex. We just have to wait, guys. What do you think? Comment down below. So if they're going to drop the zeros off the exchange rate and it's just, they just have the purchasing power, good for the Iraqi citizens. What do you think? This summary, Nader, I profiled him last couple days ago, I think. This is my opinion. If they delete the zeros, they're going to put it on Forex 1-to-1, and then they're going to let it float from there. It's not going to float at 0.00076. When you see 1-to-1 on Forex, that means it's floating already. That's Nader's opinion. Again, because of my military contacts who said if they put it back on Forex, it has to start where it left off, which is 322. There's no such thing as floating at 1. So what do you think? Comment down below. It's anybody's guess. I did talk about what Jeff said yesterday in my summary yesterday, so we're pretty much caught up today. If you like these summaries, please give me an encouraging comment down below. I will see you tomorrow morning for my typical live stream, and we may go live at 5 also to celebrate as if we believe this is already done. What do you think? Comment down below. I hope you will subscribe, tap the bell. Bye.